After watching my recent Sneaker Stash live cop video for the ICA Air Force One, many of you have specifically requested that I make a how to cop guide for these sorts of events in particular. Therefore, today we will be discussing how to cop from the Nike Sneaker Stash. Specifically, we will be discussing what is the Nike Sneaker Stash, what equipment or software do you need, and how to cop step by step. To preface this, if you guys enjoy these types of videos regarding acquiring these limited products, the secondary market, and reselling, be sure to subscribe and enable post notifications. This way you're always 100% updated. Furthermore, for more urgent updates like shock drops such as the recent Sneaker Stash we just saw, follow my Twitter, KeithAdam10, and also personals for you. Lastly, before we get started, I want to give a big thank you to the sponsor of today's video, Dashlane. More on them later. Kicking it off, what exactly is a Sneaker Stash? A Sneaker Stash is one of several Nike Sneakers Hunt releases. Some examples of other Sneakers Hunts include Sneakers Behind the Design Scratchers, AR hunts, also known as Sneakers Cams, Sneakers Passes, and of course, Sneakers Stashes. A normal sneaker shock drop is not typically referred to as a sneakers hunt, such as the Off-White Converse shock drop that we just recently saw. Two of these hunts are location-based, meaning you have to be within a certain location in order to purchase. These include the Sneakers Pass and the Sneakers Stash. With a Sneakers Pass, you must be within a 25-mile radius in order to reserve a sneaker for pickup. Yes, you literally need to drive to the store to pick up the Sneakers Pass with the same exact device that you reserved on. On the other hand though, the real fun derives from Nike Sneakers Stashes, and this is what you guys just recently saw on the July 10th Off-White Air Force One ICA Sneaker Stash. There are two notable differences here. For one, the radius is always different. Unlike the consistent 25-mile radius for Sneakers Passes, it always fluctuates for Sneakers Stashes. In fact, for a very small radius, like the yellow Fear of God Air 1 that we saw back in 2019, they will enable a Bluetooth requirement. Bluetooth will prevent you from spoofing your location, and you'll literally need to be there in person. No workaround, unfortunately. We'll discuss this more later, but what you need to know as of now is that Bluetooth requirement is extremely rare and only occurs when there is very, very low stock. The other notable difference is that Nike Sneaker Stashes actually ship to you wherever you live within the region that is dropping that Sneaker Stash. You do not need to pick up for Sneaker Stashes, unlike Sneakers Passes. Also, I want to point out a large misconception in the community right now. I'm recording this video on July 15th, so as of today, there is a popular screenshot circulating that states that the ICA Stash was for Boston addresses only. Well, I have debunked this in a matter of minutes. They referenced that since this was not a Boston address, this did not meet the terms and conditions, quote unquote. Well, I searched the entire TOS along with the page and my own live cop checkout feed, and there's no statement at all that is relatively even close to this. More importantly, all of my members in my group Endurance have already started to get their shipment confirmations, and a few of those who happen to live close to Nike already got their pairs as of me recording this on July 15th. None of those people live in Boston, so my current hypothesis is that either someone used inspect element on a Nike cancel response email from a rep to get attention and clickbait, or the Nike rep themselves is completely new to this and spreading misinformation like Nike reps usually do. The bottom line is, it doesn't matter where your address is, they are going to ship to you within the region that they did drop on. So now you know what a Sneaker Stash is. It is a location-based drop that will ship to you. You do not need to pick up. You must be within a specific location in order to purchase. So now let us discuss what equipment or software you will need in order to exploit the Sneaker Stash. As mentioned before, unless the Bluetooth requirement is enabled, which is very, very rare, then you can technically be in the location by spoofing the location of your mobile device. For all my Android users, I have some incredible news for you. You guys have it very easy. All you need to do is download a free location spoofing app on the Google Play Store. There are tons of these, most of which are popular for the Pokemon Go app, or people trying to lie to their husband or wife. However, you can also use this to your benefit for Nike Sneaker Stashes or even a Nike Sneakers Pass. The GPS emulator is normally my go-to recommendation for Android devices. It's completely free, so go ahead and grab that. Now, on the other hand, Apple users don't have it as nice, unfortunately, but it still is very easy. Let me show you. In order to spoof your location on an Apple device such as an iPhone, iPad, iPod, etc., you will need a specific form of software on a laptop. In addition to that, you'll also need a USB cord, your iPhone charger for example, then of course the Apple device that you're trying to spoof itself. Now, what specific software do you need for this? Well, in my group Endurance, we programmed our very own free location spoofer for all members to use. However, I do understand that not all of you have access to that, obviously. Hence, I went out of my way to offer you guys an alternative as well. There's a program out there called iTools. I even made a video on this program specifically 3 years ago, back in 2018, for Nike Sneakers Passes. The only issue is that unless you buy in bulk, it is extremely expensive, being over $30 for a single key. Therefore, for your guys' convenience, I went ahead and purchased them in bulk for you, and just listed them on my site, TARS, so you can purchase them for only $7 each rather than $30. While on the topic of my site, TARS, you could also feel free to purchase SMS pre-verified Nike Sneakers accounts or Adidas accounts through there as well. Now, once you have the iTools software, let me show you how to actually spoof your location with it. It is very easy. In fact, it is so easy, I'm going to let my 2018 self, Keith, demonstrate this to you while I explain. Step 1, plug your Apple device into your computer with your USB cord. Step 2, open the application iTools. If this is your first time, you'll also need to register your 2 keys in the upper right hand corner. The long key goes in the big box, of course. Step 3, click virtual location on the main UI. Step 4, enter the address or coordinates that you desire to spoof your location to. This will be the location where the sneaker stash is located. Then, feel free to use the Snapchat or Apple Maps to verify that you have indeed moved your location officially. Make sure you don't accidentally spoof to a gentleman's club, or else you might have some explaining to do to your wife. So, you're all set with how to spoof your location now. Remember, if Bluetooth requirement is enabled, then you will have to literally drive to that location. This is very rare though, and it only occurs when stock is very, very low. You might be wondering though, how do you know where to spoof to? Well, if you're in my group Endurance, you have access to all this early information beforehand, the exact time, the date, the location, the coordinates, etc. I understand not all of you have access to the group though, but I still do believe that you guys can cop. Normally, Sneakers app will tell you the location as soon as it does load on the app, of course. This will be when you open up the Sneaker Stash and it tries to locate your device, it will tell you where you need to be. So, all you need to do is Google a random address or coordinate in that area, then put it into iTools, of course. Granted, a lot of the stock will already be gone by this point, considering it will take you some time to set up, and you might not even have your computer or USB cord with you at the time. Since these are shock drops at the end of the day, they kind of pop out of nowhere. But I still do think that those of you who are fast enough and happen to be by your computer can still cop this way. So, even if you are not able to get into my group Endurance, don't give up. I do still strongly believe that you are going to be able to cop these, at least have a chance. Now, prior to moving on to the Sneaker Stash and how they will actually work though, I wanted to share a little bit about today's sponsor, Dashlane. Being someone who uses the internet 18 hours a day for work, it feels good to have that extra level of security that Dashlane provides, especially with my knowledge in the cybersecurity realm. In fact, it is for this reason that I actually myself reached out to Dashlane to try to get a sponsorship with them. I know how important it is to encrypt your personal data, while I also understand it can be hard to memorize everything without the aid of a tool. Dashlane can be your one-stop shop for your digital identity by managing all of your passwords, so you do not need to keep track of every single one yourself. Personal info and financials, making your digital life safe and more secure. Dashlane works across all devices, including Apple products, PCs, Android, Safari, and Chrome. Dashlane also has a secure autofill feature that works for personal information and credit cards, saving you time when you shop online, which for us evidently is a necessity for those of you trying to check out limited products, such as a Best Buy PS5 restock, for example. They also include a VPN to prevent praying eyes from tracking and helping you access content anywhere, not to mention a dark web monitoring feature to see if your information is being bought and sold illegally online. I think we all know what happened with the StockX data breach back in 2019 and again in 2020, so please guys, take advantage of this feature that Dashlane does offer. You might be surprised if you're included in some of those data breaches. To give it a try for free on your first device, go to dashlane.com/Keith and use my personal promo code Keith to get 10% off if you decide to upgrade to premium, of course. Please guys, stay safe out there. Now moving on, as far as how the stash will actually work and how it looks, I'd highly suggest you watch my recent live cop video, but to sum it up really quickly for you guys, you just need to click on the Nike sneaker stash in the sneakers feed after I tweet it out to you guys. That's how you're going to be alerted for this. Then follow the steps that Sneakers provides to you guys, which will then locate your device and allow you to proceed if you are in range, which you should be in range if you do follow the instructions correctly for spoofing that I explained earlier. Then you should be able to purchase like any sneakers drop. It won't be a Leo drop though. This will literally be a flow drop, aka first come first serve, so please guys be quick. Two important notes that I need to mention though: sometimes the front end loads before the hunt itself, therefore you will need to restart your app multiple times until it actually begins to load for you. You will see this actually occur to myself in my live cop video, so you could actually see what I'm mentioning now. Second, you must have a profile picture added to your account. If the Sneakers app does not let you, you can use the Nike desktop site or Nike Plus app to add it, because there have been some issues with the Nike Sneakers app for this in particular. But anyway, that's all you guys need to know to cop on the Nike Sneakers stash whenever these do occur. For those who do need iTools, the link for the site is in the description below. And for those of you who do want to know how my group Endurance did on the drop in total, I'm going to roll a success clip for you guys now. But for the rest of you, have a great rest of your day, and good luck on all these upcoming future stashes.